Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hey my people, what's going on? Hope everybody doing fine and not drinking wine because haram, bro. Today we're gonna be checking lean beef patty, talking about my fitness story. Well, actually her fitness story. Sport, chaos, heartache, breaking point.
So it all started when I was born. I'm just kidding, but also I'm not kidding at all. My mom taught gymnastics to babies. Dead serious. She taught gymnastics to toddlers, and I was one of those toddlers. So I started doing gymnastics when I was about 2 años.
Whoa, that's her? Fake blonde alert. Now I understand, because sometimes I run into her TikToks and you can see her doing gymnastics and it's pretty impressive, honestly.
After being a baby athlete, I continued in gymnastics, and I was a competitive gymnast for a number of years. I have been asked if I think gymnastics contributed to my physique.
Well, definitely.
I think definitely yes, at least in like establishing a fine foundation and also just my coordination, body awareness, things like that.
You can see all those famous athletes who are especially natural. I don't know about her natural status. Let me know in the comments if she is or not. But all these athletes that started doing sports ever since they were young, they have amazing genetics. I don't know, kind of like contributes big time into your future. So if you have a toddler or if you are a toddler, start doing sports, man. Start moving your butt now, bro.
Even more so, in my opinion, than the physical contributions, the mental contributions. Because being in such a highly competitive and disciplined sport like that as a child, it kind of messed me up a little bit in the head. There was some negative consequences.
Come on, don't be like that. Like, oh, my parents, my mom, you ruined my childhood. Oh, no. Now I have 4 million people who follow me on TikTok and I have 784k subscribers on YouTube. Go now and give your mother a kiss here on the forehead. Please, sister, come on. Tell her thank you very much, because honestly, if your parents didn't push you, you probably would never be able to be here right now.
Also helped me be very disciplined, especially in the beginning of my fitness journey. When I was around 13 was the first time that I became body conscious. Like, as a person, that was the first time I was aware of my body existing in space, if that makes sense. It was like the summer when I was 13 years old and I was at gymnastics and I was standing there and I remember feeling my thighs touch together at the top. My initial thought was just dread. I was like, oh my gosh.
And I always like imagine when the girls' thighs like touch each other, it goes like, yo, Bluetooth device is connected successfully. Actually, that's funny because most girls think that for some reason guys hate big thighs. But actually, guys really don't care. Do you guys care if a girl has like big thighs?
At that period of time, I don't know if it's still like this for 13-year-olds, but the thigh gap and being just kind of really skinny was in. Everybody wanted a thigh gap.
I guess you picked it up from Mean Girls.
That was the moment when I realized I don't have a thigh gap. Devastating. It was so devastating to me. A few months later, maybe like a year, I quit gymnastics and pretty much immediately developed an eating disorder because I didn't have a great understanding of nutrition at the time. So my reasoning was, you eat for fuel if you're an active individual. I didn't really understand BMR and things like that.
She really wants to have a good grasp on nutrition, which is like, I don't know, 13 or 14. Come on. Don't give yourself a hard time.
And when I stopped working out like that, I just figured, I'm not working out, I'm not burning calories, I don't need food. So I pretty much just completely stopped eating. You should not do that. That's not awesome.
By the way, if you want to calculate your TDEE BMR, go check it out on my website. I have a fun TDEE calculator where you actually can calculate your calories and macros in a fun way where you can get to enjoy foods like carbs and fat in a very reasonable amount and also have the adequate amount of protein that your body needs. So go check it out.
Started working out at home. I was doing a lot of just like body weight stuff, would run. Eventually, the consequences of my actions of having that severe eating disorder did catch up to me. Ended up
anorexic. I guess.
In a treatment facility.
Oh,
it was kind of
wow.
funny because I can
Okay, too
remember
serious.
I went a couple of times, but the first time I went to a treatment facility, I remember it was in the middle of the school year, and I just disappeared for several months and then came back randomly. I was a little bit shocked that not a single person said anything to me. I don't know if just nobody noticed that I was missing for 3 months, or if they all knew I had an eating disorder. I'm really not sure. Only one person said something to me. This one boy was like, Patricia, where were you for 3 months? And I was like, I was sick. And that was the end of the conversation, and he didn't ask any more questions, and I didn't tell him anything else, and nobody else ever asked.
That's actually sad.
I'll think about that from time to time. I'm like, what was up with that? But anyway, so I had that eating disorder.
Sure.
Got treatment for it. Still struggled with it though. Even though I knew a lot about nutrition at the time, I had a very lengthy history with dietitians and whatnot. I wasn't really ready to accept recovery, so I didn't really accept it, and I continued in my kind of maladaptive behaviors for a good amount of time.
It's very sad to be anorexic, and I think the best thing you can do is to truly understand nutrition. A lot of people, when they understand nutrition and how it works, not just like get a schedule or a plan from someone, no. Go learn nutrition. I know it's gonna be hard. Some people are not willing to do it, but honestly, when you understand, it helps you so much get over the fear of, oh no, if I eat this, I'm gonna get fat. Oh no, if I eat this, I'm gonna get bloated, you know? So try it out and then thank me later.
And as I was doing that, I also started going to a gym.
Nice.
So I went to a regular gym. I remember I asked my dad. He is a very active man to this day. He works out all the time. He's riding his bike. He does a lot of things. But he had a membership to a gym. So I was like, hey, Pops, take me to the gym. And he did. And I can remember the first day he took me to the gym. He showed me the ab and adductor machines.
Why did she put a picture of a guy on that machine? If you have a daughter and you take her to the gym and the first machine you introduce her to is the machine where guys are gonna be like around her, like why would you do that to your daughter?
Definitely did not know what I was doing. I was just going crazy in the gym. I was really intense in my workouts. They were very poorly structured though, and I did not have a good grasp of nutrition. Then 2019 hits, and that's when everything kind of changed. In 2019, I entered a relationship, and it kind of low-key changed my life. It was crazy.
Because after the breakup, you are embracing the gains, bro.
Horrific relationship. Absolutely terrible. Because, in a way, it really helped me. Because up until that point, all of my, mental energy had kind of gone towards worrying about the way that my body looked and worrying about food. Up until 2019, when all that anxiety and depression around my body shifted now to my partner. You know, the relationship itself was a dumpster fire, but my shift had shifted. So, I really don't know why, because they sucked, but yeah. Also, I wasn't the best either. I wasn't the best, but they were just objectively worse than me.
I think maybe Mr. Beef Patty might have a different story to tell,
During that relationship, I ended up losing around, I want to say 15 pounds, which is a lot for.
Whoa, 15, 7 kgs? Even for a guy, that's detrimental. Check her out, honestly. Even her facial structure is so different between back then and now. I would have never guessed that it's the same girl, honestly. Look at the nose and is she on stuff right now? Is she an enhanced athlete on steroids? Because I don't know what would change her facial structure this much.
My frame. 15 pounds can look different on different people's bodies.
If I lose 7 kgs, I would look like a freaking chicken with no feathers.
So losing 15 pounds, people around me would say things. They'd be like, are you okay? Is everything okay at home?
Oh, wow.
And then I would just be like, no. Just kidding. I wouldn't trauma dump on them like that. But it was not okay. I was just really sad. I was really sad for a pretty fair amount of time. And I just stopped worrying about food. Then, when that relationship inevitably ended, I started going back to the gym. Because when I was in that
she looks skinny, bro. Also, it's not her. Looks so different. What the hell? That's why I think she's enhanced, you know, because like her facial structure completely changed. She looks more dude-ish now, you know, more guyish. I'm not attacking her or anything, we're just an observation.
So when that issue was no longer an issue for me, I decided to go back to the gym. I started going back to the gym around the very beginning of 2020. As we all know, that big whole world pandemic happened. So that was kind of catastrophic. And the gyms closed. So
she's not catching a break.
I had a couple of months in there where I was just, whoa, baby, I was going ham. I was getting diced. I was slowly putting on muscle. Then boom, pandemic, gym shut down. I am forced to stop going to the gym, which I was pretty upset about at the time because I was having a demon arc and it was cut short by the demons of the world. So
this sentence has a lot of deep meanings inside.
2021 comes around and the gyms open back up. I start going back to the gym. I'm back on demon time. I start getting a little more involved on the online fitness community. So I started learning more things. I started learning about kind of like different workout splits, nutrition, things like that. Just vaguely a little bit. Eventually, like in 2022, started tracking my calories a little bit more closely and realized I was not eating enough protein. This is the reason why I like loose tracking, is because if I don't, personally, if I don't track my calories, I won't eat protein. Maximum 20 grams a day. I just don't gravitate towards foods high in protein.
It's weird. I don't understand people who cannot have their daily protein intake. How easy is it? Just a shake of protein with 2 scoops, probably like 50 grams of protein. For a girl, she probably had like half of her daily protein intake, period.
So I'm not going to eat protein if I'm not making sure I eat protein. So then I started tracking my calories, started learning more about fitness, started getting a little bit better at things.
You can see like the minute she starts hitting weights, immediately, boom, you know, and it must be sad for people who don't react well to weights. Like their muscles don't react well to weights when they train, because it's weird how everybody adapts differently. Most guys cannot build this amount of muscle within a year. If you're talking about like 2021, when she gets serious, to the end of 2021 when she was like going viral on TikTok, this is a relatively very, very small amount of time for someone, even for a dude, to build muscle, so let alone for a girl. I don't know. This is why I don't know if she's natural or not.
And here we are. So that's it. That's kind of my whole story. I don't think it's a very uncommon story. I actually think it's probably relatable for a lot of people.
Guys, if this video was enjoyable, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't subscribe without turning on the notifications. Turn on the notifications to get the latest updates to my videos. And also, if you're interested, go enroll in my weight loss course, where I explain to you the concept of creating your own caloric deficit, tracking your calories to achieve results, lose weight and fat, enjoying and eating the foods that you like, and not only that, but also managing to maintain and keep the results long term as well. Until we meet again in a new video, remember to stay fit and peace.
I said, oh my God.